Smell that? It smells like fall in South Bend. There's a blue-gray October sky. It's really starting to feel like football season around here. I know we had the bye week last week, but I'm getting excited for football now. Team's coming off a great win against Louisville, and that's why this episode has me fired up. This is, of course, Wake Up the Echoes, presented by TireRack.com. I'm your host, Tony Simeone. Marcus Freeman is back this week. It was great to see him after the bye week. He brought along the quarterback, had a great chat with Riley Leonard. So fun to talk to him about a ton of stuff, quite frankly, that isn't related to what's going on the field. They have that thing moving in the right direction right now. And, of course, the big game this week against Stanford. I think we'll get to see it on full display on Saturday. And then Isaiah Dunn came back. We had a great time with him playing our normal games as well. Finally caught up with J.D. Bertrand a little bit later in the show. He got his first career start in the NFL just a few days ago on Thursday Night Football. So great conversations. It's feeling like fall here in South Bend, and I'm loving it. The weather's great. The football is great. Let's talk to Marcus Freeman and Riley Leonard. Okay, Coach, welcome back to your show. We gave you the week off last week for the bye week.
Our show.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. You brought a special guest. We got the quarterback, Riley Leonard. Riley, good to see you again. I wanted to start here. Do you recognize me from the end of the table in some of those meetings on Friday?
I'm going to say yes, absolutely.
Yes, appreciate that. Yeah, no, we did the spring game last year. I talked to you, but then I'm the guy at the end of the table when you're talking to Dan Hicks, Paul Burmeister, and Jason Garrett. They're asking all the questions. I'm just down there taking notes for the radio broadcast. So now we'll be on good first name basis.
Absolutely we will be.
Okay, let's start with something we were talking about before this. The mic started rolling here. Bye week. What did you guys do? You were saying you guys both have been watching the Menendez doc on Netflix. That what you guys have been focused on? Fill me in, Coach.
I watched a little bit on the plane. I was doing some recruiting, so I had a little bit of time on the plane, and I started getting into, is it the Menendez brothers?
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting stuff. So we were just talking about it.
And you finished
Same
it, Riley?
thing here. No, I started on the plane on my way home too. So
okay.
I'm on like episode 4. This guy's on like 10 by now.
Wow. That must be so recruiting.
He's got a lot
hand in hand
more
with
fights than me.
binge watching. Is that kind of how it goes when you're on the plane? You have to binge all your shows. Is that how it goes?
Either that or I might get like 15, 20 minutes in before I go to bed. It kind of helps me decompress.
Okay.
Some non-football stuff before I go to bed.
I've heard it's pretty good. I need to get down and watch it as well. Another topic I want to talk about with you. We were on the show 2 weeks ago with Coach Shrews, and Coach Freeman said that he thinks you're the best basketball player on the football team. Would you agree with that statement? And if not, or if so, who's, I guess, the best competition you've got?
Yeah, that's the topic of debate pretty much every day in the locker room. I try to keep my mouth shut and like let other people answer that for me. Internally, I got pretty strong feelings, but I think that's a question you have to ask for the guys. If there's a guy who can compete, it'd definitely be Micah Gilbert. He's probably 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a baller.
Can he get up? I mean,
receiver
can
probably get up. Yeah. He played in the EYBL. He's got really good ball skills, and he can go left. I can't go left.
So you're like 90s MJ. I would see it on Instagram all the time. Like MJ couldn't go left, so you can't go left either.
Yeah, no shot. Like I got.
Don't compare him and MJ now. Hold on.
Yeah, actually, I love that comparison. What are we talking about?
Okay, MJ or LeBron? Who you got?
So, yeah, that's also a great question. I was always an MJ guy. But recently I might be swaying towards Bron. So like I don't know.
What's changed your mind?
The lefty clips, like people just like try to expose all this.
So I was right.
There's nobody in my life who's arguing for MJ. So all I hear is this LeBron stuff because it's my generation. So it's starting to sway me. But if I was around the older people, I'm sure I'd be leaning towards MJ. Like you're probably MJ, and I always have been until the debate started.
Coach is kind of just established. This is an MJ. MJ's the GOAT pod, right?
Yeah, but then you see that picture of LeBron and Bronny on the court at the same time. Right. I'm like, geez, man, this is GOAT stuff right there. Now this just LeBron is so much bigger than basketball, man. It is crazy that he's doing what he's doing at 40 years old now, 39, 40 years old.
Crazy.
Like it does throw genetics out the window. This dude is just redefining genetics.
It's unbelievable to watch. Okay, last basketball related question here. Jaden Thomas was here. Let's settle this. When I asked him his position, Coach knows where I'm going. He referred to himself as a defender. I asked him what position he was. He said defender. When you hear that, does your eyes light up and you say, I'm going to go right at this guy? Because you're usually a guard or a forward.
That's an embarrassing thing to have to say about yourself. Like, you're pretty much just saying you can't hoop. Yeah, I've never heard like a genuinely good basketball player just say, like, "Yeah, I'm a defender."
Next time you see Jaden Thomas, go address that with him because it was
I
an
absolutely
embarrassing
will.
answer we thought.
I mean, good for him, but not the direction I would go. So yeah, I'd love to play against him.
I want to ask you about your time here so far. You've been here for less than a year, but there's a lot of history in your family with Notre Dame. Just what's the experience been like being on campus, being a part of this place? What have you enjoyed the most so far?
It's really different than any place I've ever been before. The number one thing that I kind of feel on campus is like spiritual growth, like everywhere you go. I haven't been around like a religious university or institution really, so to speak. And when you step foot on this campus, like everywhere you go, you kind of see the biblical symbolism everywhere. So that's been probably the coolest thing. Number two, I really expected this place to be overwhelming because it's Notre Dame. It's a national brand. When you step foot on campus, it's like very hometown feel. Everybody's very nice, very supportive, and it's a small community. I think it's like 8,000 undergrad.
Yeah.
So it's very welcoming and like not what I anticipated it to be.
When you hear that, Coach, isn't that kind of exactly what you want to hear as the head coach? Because when I hear people talk about Notre Dame, they talk about a place they allow to change them or have that impact on them. And to hear it come from the quarterback's mouth, that has to make you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this place entails, right? It's that it is such a huge brand, but it's special. It's so quaint. You are a part of a special community, and he's embraced that and realized that very quickly. But that's what makes this place special.
Yeah. Is there a Notre Dame memory you have like growing up? Like, what's your impression of Notre Dame when you were like 5, 6, 7 years old? What comes to mind?
Well, it's tough, growing up in Alabama.
Yeah.
Because nobody
really
supports it like
how old were you in 2012 then?
10 years old.
So what was going on in when that game happened? What was your impression down there?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, my great-grandfather came here, played here, a lot of history there. So to be surrounded by Alabama fans is not too easy. I mean, these guys, they're just ruthless down there. I think we're starting to convert some with me being here. But yeah, it was not a good time to be have any type of affiliation with Notre Dame.
And so were you rooting for Notre Dame back then?
Secretly, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I had like the. Yeah, it was tough.
He was screaming "Roll Tide."
Roll Tide. So you were wearing crimson down.
I don't even remember. Dude. Okay. I don't remember what I did yesterday, so I don't remember.
Okay, you're good at this. You're good at getting out of these things. I have heard you guys meet on Sundays, right? This is the last couple of years, right? You did it with Sam last year as well with quarterbacks. I just want to know, what are your discussions like? And you obviously don't have to share everything with me, but like, what's something you've learned from Riley here and being around him now the time you've been together? What do you guys talk about on Sundays? What's maybe something you didn't know about and that you've gotten to understand in those conversations on Sundays?
Yeah, it's something that's intentional on my end to make sure that I set aside time in my schedule to really meet with him and to just support him. Right? That's the biggest thing. It's my job as a head coach, is to be what he needs me to be. And in order to figure that out, we have to spend time together. And I love it because it's a way for me to get away from work and game plan. And, we let the conversations go where they go. We might talk a little bit about ball. We might talk about what happened last game. But I love to talk about, how's your family? How's your girlfriend? How's your faith? And we let the conversation be authentic and go wherever it needs to go. And it's a way for me to be vulnerable with him, right? And to tell him things going on in my life and my family. And it's important because I always tell him, and I say it all the time with the media, like, we're in such similar positions, right? Is that sometimes you have to let everything else besides what you have to do in your role, like, go away, and really that's the intention of that meeting, is to spend time with him, to be whatever Riley Leonard needs me to be as his coach.
So what do you get out of those meetings? It sounds like he said he's vulnerable. You're not necessarily talking about ball the whole time. What's your takeaway from Sundays?
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a meeting. It's definitely not even a meeting. It's just like sitting down and talking with a friend, honestly. Like, in those 30 minutes to an hour, whenever we meet, it's not player coach. It's like friend to friend. And there's so many times throughout the week where he has to be coach and I had to be player, and I'm yes, sir. But like, these are moments to where like we can just be authentic, be ourselves, sit down, talk about whatever. And I think that's really important because there have been systems in the past, or I just feel like just in general, you got your coach and you got your player, but to me, it's just like talking with a friend on Sundays, and it's definitely not even a meeting to me.
So do you think of like icebreakers? Because every podcast I do, I got, okay, what am I going to break the ice with? Or you guys past that point now?
Yeah, we're good. We just sit down.
And there
might
hey, you recognize me from down the end of the table?
There might be things during the week that I write down, hey, this is something I got to talk to Riley about on Sunday. But very seldom does that happen. Most of the time it's like, hey, 5:30, I get done with a couple coaching meetings and medical meetings. Here's Riley time, you know, and I look forward to it.
How valuable is that? Because I look at I haven't played sports in a long time, but like I got a meeting with coach or I got a meeting with the teacher. To me, it always feels like there's a negative connotation, but you have this regular meeting. It's going to be positive. We're going to just catch up on things. For you, how valuable is it to just know that every Sunday we're going to kind of reset and just talk about something else?
Yeah, it's really reassuring, and it's just a good feeling for me because, on the weekend I'm just surrounded by a lot of people who don't really understand how I'm feeling, whether that's even family members. Nobody can put their self in my shoes more than he can, and vice versa. So to be able to just like go through the game, go through the craziness of after the game and Sunday morning, to be able to just go back and chit chat and relax and communicate about how you're feeling is really kind of important to me.
You guys have both talked about this, I don't want to call it pressure, but the importance of the two positions you're in as it relates to the team throughout the week and throughout the season. So I have one Saturday question for you. 2 Saturdays ago, when you guys are down the way you went down 90 seconds into the game, I just want to know what you guys are doing on the sideline. Like in your role, I imagine it can't be panic. It's too early to panic, but just what do you both have to do to make sure the team stays in the right mindset when things go not according to plan the way they did in that Louisville game? Because the response was so good. And I'll start with you, Coach.
I think Coach Rudolph said something to the team, our offensive line coach, that week that kind of stuck with me. It was like, you don't control the first thought. You control the thought after the thought. And your first thought after you fumble the kickoff return is, oh my gosh, what's going on? But you control the thought after the thought, right? It's okay, refocus, defense goes out. What's the situation? Red zone. Okay, we need a red zone stop. They score a touchdown. Okay, what happened? All right, offense is up. Riley, you guys are good. You're ready to go. And you have to stay in the moment, right? Yeah. You have to stay in the moment and really be intentional about where your mind is. And you cannot let the last play affect this play and what has to get done. And so it's so important to just control your thoughts. And we all have natural thoughts that happen when things don't go well or when things go well. But to control your mind and get your mind in a place where it needs to be to focus on this play and get it done on this one is so important.
What about you? I saw you nodding along over there.
Yeah, the thought after the thought, like, it stuck with me. Like, that's real. And very important. Another thing we watched in fall camp, he showed a video of Jocko talking about just good. Everybody's seen it, right? If something bad happens, good. So on offense, right? I mean, originally you're like, oh, bro, what the heck? But, they score, you're down 7-0, good. Like, oh, what an opportunity to come back, punch him in the mouth on the opening drive 85 yards. And that's exactly what we did. So, obviously lots of ball left to play when something like that comes up. And it's just like, good. We'll be fine.
Still 58 and a half minutes left.
Right.
So, yeah. What do you do on the sideline? Do you go talk to guys? You just try to do the same thing and imagine like nothing happened.
It all just depends. Like in a situation like that, I'm just talking to the defense as they walk out the field. Hey, we got him back. We'll be just fine. Whatever comes naturally. I'm not going to force anything.
Okay. I wanted to go back to being on campus a little bit and the Here Come the Irish episodes that have been out on Peacock. I saw you were you were judging a talent show, right?
Oh,
can I just get, because I saw it was a really good interview. The documentary is great, and I can't wait to see the rest of the episodes when they come out at the end of the year. But I got the sense when I was listening to you talk that you were just kind of blown away by all the different skills and talents that you saw on the talent show. Just either for those that haven't watched, that did watch and didn't see everything, like what was your biggest takeaway of being a part of that talent show? Because it's one of the first things I think you did really on campus as a member of the student body here.
Yeah, that talent show is hilarious because you had like the best of the best, like people that could be on America's Got Talent type deal. And you also had dudes who walked up there to try to solve a Rubik's Cube, and he's never touched a Rubik's Cube before in his life. So we're sitting here for like 2 minutes go by, and he's just no progress at all. And then he just walks up and gets
he didn't
on
solve
stage.
it?
No.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, absolutely not. No, not even close. But so yeah, like you just saw a little bit of everything. And I think it like credits the type of people that Notre Dame recruits on this campus. Like, you're getting the best of the best from all across the country. So it was really cool to experience that with the quarterbacks as well, and really just kind of see these students, because they're also amazing. Like, whatever class I'm in, I'm with aces. Like, they're all the best of the best. There's a lot of competition, and that kind of grows me as a person, and I've grown to appreciate it.
Yeah, I've heard that answer from a lot of athletes across the campus since I've been here. That, like, one of the best things is being in class with those people, because just through osmosis you learn something, or you get a different experience you wouldn't have had elsewhere. Do you have? So you didn't participate in the talent show? You just judged it.
He did. He threw that ball.
Yeah, I almost knocked the girl's head off. That's what I did.
Second ball was pretty good. It was the Rubik's Cube guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Do you have a hidden talent?
Oh man,
you got.
I like to think I do. I mean, I played the harmonica, saxophone. That's about it. No, I don't know. I don't think so. Acting, yeah.
Was the Alexander Hamilton acting part, was that on Here Come the Irish? I don't know if it was or not.
I don't know if I
where him
saw
and
that.
Benjamin Morrison
tried to sing.
Yeah.
It was? Okay, I guess it was. I'm blanking right now. So you did do that. Oh, wait, when you guys went to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I remember seeing that on stage, right?
But you missed the part where him and BMO come out, and I don't know if you call it singing or acting, but they did the
little bit of both.
Alexander Hamilton. It was pretty good.
So your pipes are okay?
No, they're actually terrible, but I do a little bit of acting. I'm taking some theater classes right now, so get me out the comfort zone.
I think Isaiah, when he comes and joins us, is going to dig into that a little bit. So you should get ready, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I imagine he will.
Okay, what about you, Coach? I haven't really ever asked you this. Hidden talents?
Oh,
you have to have something.
No.
Nothing?
I can't play any instruments.
Baseball, wiffle ball, not bad.
Oh,
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah, I'm all right. Every time he pitches, I hit a home run.
Because I throw meatballs. I'm not trying to throw curveballs and wiffle ball. It's a friendly game. I'm just throwing them down the middle.
You can't strike out the head coach either.
No.
That'll ruin Sunday conversations.
No doubt. No.
So baseball or wiffle ball. Did you play in high school?
Not in high school.
Okay.
But I did
growing
play a little bit of baseball. I was in taekwondo till I was about 12 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my mom's Korean, and while you're over there laughing,
that's fair. All right, that's
laughing.
fair. That's fair.
Come on now.
My mom's Korean, so like she made me and my older brother get into taekwondo, and we, I don't know, about 6 years old till 13, and we became black belts. And
really, so you're a taekwondo black belt.
Yeah, but
you're a retired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 years old. But
I'm now going to make it. I think we'll see if by the end of the year they hear me off set. We're going to try to get some footage. Is there footage somewhere?
Video there would be pictures, but no, I don't even know. I mean, that's right around the time like there was no phone.
Right.
There wasn't even cell phones at that time. But there was like those camcorders. Like I remember my mom and probably my mom used to record when you play like Pee Wee football.
Yeah.
And like the film would be shaking as you would watch it, and like she's yelling, "Go Marcus!"
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but I don't think there's any taekwondo film. There might be a picture or something.
Okay. Do you know what life is like without a cell phone? Like, can you even imagine it?
No, honestly, I wish I could, but I wish I was a part of it, but no.
Yeah. And I was asking before we started, like, when you're in class, what's the rule? No cell phones, right? Or is it like kind of loose?
It's tricky.
Depends on the class. I want to get
depends
you
on
in
how
trouble.
big the class is. You can get a small class, you can't be on your phone.
Here's something he would never know, right? As you think about that, like the busied tone.
Oh, yeah.
When you call somebody and they're on the phone and it gave you the busy tone.
Yeah.
And like you would have to keep calling back. So if you would call somebody's house phone and they were on the phone, it would just be busy. And then you would have to keep calling back until
it would just go,
go through.
Beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep. Oh, they must be on the phone with somebody.
It's crazy.
Right.
And then if they missed it, you got the answering machine.
Yeah.
And you call and you leave a message and you say, "Hi, Mrs. Freeman. This is Tony. I was really hoping Marcus would come play today. Can you please have him call me back? Thank you so much. Goodbye."
Right. And then there's like a couple phones in the house, right? So everybody's hearing your
Yes,
conversation.
it's called the home phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
you can. Yeah. I used to drop on my brother in his conversations.
Right. Yeah. Just sitting in the living room talking to his girl. It's probably pretty funny to listen to.
Man, I'm telling you, like having to muster up the courage to call someone's parents to ask if your friend could, I don't know, like have a sleepover or whatever. Just that was a learning experience when you're 8. And now I don't even know what these kids do. They probably just have mom text mom and they set it up. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
thanks for coming by. We're going to keep you around and have you hang out with Isaiah. Coach, great to see you again. We'll see you next week.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
This is our Spinning Our Wheels segment. It's presented by TireRack.com. We love our friends at TireRack.com. We always have our guest, Riley, spin the wheel to see what game we're going to play.
All right.
So why don't you spin our wheel? I will tell you this. You got to spin it a little harder than you think.
Okay.
Now, you got a good right arm, so I'm not too worried about it, but...
All right, who said
Who
this?
said this?
Okay.
Okay.
This is the fun
We've
one.
got this.
All
We
right.
got this. You played this before.
I have.
So the
was
way
horrible.
this works is we have captions from your teammates. These are Instagram captions, and it's all posts that took place after the Louisville game.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. And so I know it's a week ago, but it's the most recent game. So this should be fresh in your mind. I'm going to read you a caption, and you only get one guess to who posted it. And then you'll go first. We'll lock your answer in, and then we'll see what Isaiah thinks, and we'll give you the answer.
All right, sweet.
I'll try to
Okay.
help you out.
More deep into life, I'm worried about my goals. They'll think I'm crazy with a K.
Oh, Chris Mitchell, right?
I,
I don't have- I don't-
was relying on you on that one.
Give it to you one more time. More deep into life, I'm worried about my goals, comma. They'll think I'm crazy with a K.
Who do crazy with a K? Chris Mitchell was a good guess.
Yeah, great guess.
You know, Chris with a K.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I was.
what-
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I thought.
Jaden Harrison.
You guys are on the wrong side of the
Okay, we're
ball.
on the wrong
Don Schuler. Remember?
Yeah.
We did
What
Don
was his
before.
last week too, or the other time we did it?
He had an 8-ball one. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
he
it
always
was
has good
quick.
captions. I
Yeah.
should have thought of a Don.
Yeah.
He's a good one.
Yeah, another guy playing. Two guys in the secondary we started with.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna defend you guys here. This is a little vague. Like anyone could have said this, I think, but here's the caption. Stood on it.
Oh,
I believe they're suggesting stand on business, and
They
we
were.
did that.
They were in fact.
Stood on it.
I'm thinking linebackers.
You'd be thinking wrong.
Oh man, this is
This is a
hard
tough
game.
game.
This
I
game
mean,
is
like
hard.
these
Love that.
captions. I mean, I can name 30 different people.
I'm with you. This one's tough. This is a little unfair. I'll give this again. Offensive line again.
Okay.
Really? You should know that.
Okay. Let's go. Rocco.
Further left.
I mean, did Nap put that?
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
Nap put
Nap,
that.
Yes, freshman.
Nah.
Love
I
that.
thought
Love
there'd
that
be like a no
attitude. I
offensive
love
line.
I saw that
attitude.
post. I saw that post. I should have guessed.
All right. Man, kids these days. All right. Get in with me. ...
Bro, what are these captions?
Yeah, whoever put that,
People are keeping it vague after this game.
I don't know. I gotta go talk to him. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to say there, but yeah, I got no idea.
Defense, really good player on defense. They're all good, but like really good. Like
There's
we were
no
all
way.
excited he came back.
Jack Kaiser?
Oh no! It's Howard Cross.
no.
Xavier
Riley Miller.
Watts.
Xavier
Oh,
Watts.
dang, dude.
Guys, these
Yeah.
DBs. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
The DB. All right. Let's take a break and we'll come back and have a more insightful conversation.
All right,
Let's do it.
This is our Cooler Conversations segment, Riley. It's presented by Yeti. Can I interest you in a beverage?
Absolutely.
Water guy.
Water guy?
Okay.
Here you go.
You know me. Water.
Isaiah?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dasani, Coke products, always hooking us up. I'm not going for the Coke yet. I am going to have them by the end of the year. And Isaiah, take it away, man. You always come with great questions. What do you got?
I'm super excited to have Riley Leonard on. He's just a wonderful person, and it's going to be a fun one. So I've done my homework a little bit, and I went to Riley Leonard's website, and I'm taking a quote from him. He said, football accomplishments are 1% of his daily life. There's another 99 that he wants the website to really show. And I'm hoping this podcast today can show a little bit of that 99%. Now, there's so many things about you that I look so highly upon of yourself. But the one thing I admire the most is your faith and your foundation on it. Can you expand a little bit about how you've come about to have the faith that you have?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Isaiah is actually one of my favorite people that I've ever met. Outstanding teammate. Won't shut up half the time, but everybody loves him.
Have you followed him back?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. Yes.
Yeah, incredible person. But to go into my faith a little bit, grew up not knowing Christ at all. It wasn't until my freshman year of high school when a couple things happened. Number one, I made the, varsity basketball and varsity football team, something that I dreamed of my entire life. And it was pretty much, once I get to that point, like, I made it. Like, everything's perfect. And I remember, couldn't drive at the time. My mom would drop me off at school. And every single day I would walk into school. And for the first week, it was the coolest moment of my life because I was the man, right? I was everything I had ever dreamed and wanted to be. That second week of school, it started to die off, right? That energy and excitement started to wear off on me. And I just remember thinking, like, surely there's got to be something more to life. I kept asking myself that, like, surely I'll have a bigger purpose in this life than just playing ball and being popular. And fortunately, at that time, I found my girlfriend my freshman year, who started taking me to a Bible study. My head high school football coach, my strength coach, and just so many different people started to pour into me and show me who Christ was, like, right in front of my face at the perfect time. And, I'd known who Christ was growing up, going to church here and there, but didn't really understand the relationship side of things. So my freshman year, it took off. And, like, ever since then, I feel like I've had a bigger meaning in life, and it's completely changed my life. And it's all credit to those around me and in my environment.
Were you saying you guys go to the same Bible study?
We do.
Is it Wednesday and Thursday?
We go to two. Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, and you're not tired of them yet. No. What's that like for, I guess, from your vantage point? What are those meetings like?
I absolutely love them. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a time where you can lay down your boundaries and be open with one another, be vulnerable, tell each other where we can grow upon in our faith and even our daily lives. It's almost a time where if people put on a mask, you can finally take that off, right? And Riley does an incredible job of that. The day I met him, obviously coming in as a big quarterback, you don't know what personality you might get. He's one of the most humble people I've met. And coming into it, he's come to every Bible study with a humble mentality of he has to grow as well. And that's helped me be more vulnerable and understand I have to.
And you were saying, I think we're with Coach Freeman, but I've heard you say at other places, like, that's one of the things you love about being here, right? That you have access to those kind of opportunities, right?
Absolutely. Like, there are so many people on this team that are growing spiritually. And I just remember, obviously, this season has been a lot of ups and downs. And, like, at my lowest point, obviously, everybody knows what that is. Like, the guys in the locker room are what brought me up. Like, hey, keep your head up, and, like, holding me accountable. Hey, you say you're a Christian, you say you live for Christ, but you got your head down after this game. No. And, like, I always tell people all the time, I'm so incomplete, and I'm looking to better myself every single day as a Christian and as a human being. And these guys are the reason why I've grown so much in my faith, like 100%. I can't thank them enough.
No, it means a lot, and it's vice versa. That works hand in hand. We both try to help each other grow, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Leading into the next question, you have some Notre Dame history with your family. Your great-grandfather, James Curran, hopefully I said that right, played football here. I'd love for you to speak upon how that's like walking in his footsteps and his legacy.
That's right. Yeah, he played here and coached here under Frank Leahy. So yeah, really, really cool experience for me. His name's James. My middle name's James. I'm named after him. So some family legacy there. On my recruiting visit, obviously Chad in the recruiting department found this out and looked at every single document he was ever named in, found it they went to the library, like historical documents. Hey, he was back in like the 30s, right? It was a long time ago, and they found every single document, highlighted it, all these pictures, and presented it to me and my family in our hotel room whenever we arrived here on my official visit. And obviously, like that took my mom's breath away. Like, that sold her, and it just meant so much to her in our family legacy that, how could I not, come here with all the history behind it.
That's incredible.
Right.
That's like, that also is a great revealing part of Chad.
Oh,
he told me last year he wanted Coach Freeman to jump out of a plane to get a recruit.
It sounds about right.
Yeah, and that's the safer version of going all out, right?
Right.
Just finding all those documents.
Right. No, I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna echo off this. So his family's pretty cool, actually. His other, not great grandfather, but grandfather, he did a speech in the summer. He was telling us about his hero, and it was very special for all of us to get to know Riley. His grandfather was doing acts of service where it was building houses, schools, homes. Can you explain what your grandfather does and how wonderful it really is?
Yeah, so he's absolutely my hero. This is a guy who's had success in a lot of different industries that he's worked in, and lives in a very small house in Fairhope, Alabama. And not the nicest part. Olive Fair is pretty nice, but not the nicest part of town. He donates pretty much all of his income to what is called the Buy a Brick Foundation. So he started this foundation over 20 years ago, to where he goes to Zimbabwe and builds schools, healthcare centers, like all these different things, gardens, and he's big on like teach a man to fish versus giving a man a fish. So he's really big on like the education side of things. So they're building, he teaches them how to have honey and then sell honey over there and grow crops and create sustaining businesses over there. And he's just been doing it for so long. And these kids are so, it's so sad to see. I mean, these kids are going to school, and he has to build these centers to where they have to go to school, but they also have to stay there overnight because they're wild animals who will literally hunt them down if they were to walk back to their village in what they call the bush. So it's just so cool to see. They're feeding thousands and thousands of kids a day, and it's their only meal of the day. So I always try to spread awareness to his organization, because every penny is used to benefit somebody and change the lives of those people in Zimbabwe.
That kind of keeps all the football in perspective, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Like when you think, like, you're saying that right there, I'm like, my job is like, come and talk about football. It's like, gosh, we have it pretty good if we're not worried about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, we're worried about the wrong things. There are kids over there with lion scratches on the outside of their walls at night, just trying to go to school and get a better education.
I know you wanted him to do his impression, but we got to go.
It's all good.
So we'll get the impression. We're going to tease the impression. We're going to get it.
We'll tease it
before you're done.
All right.
All right. Isaiah, great to see you.
It's great to see you as well.
Riley, great to see you.
Absolutely.
My request is pending. Please follow back at some point.
I got you. Appreciate y'all having me, man. This is fun.
This is awesome.
All right. We are now joined by, I think, our first ever guest to join us while they've been on campus and in the NFL. It is now starting linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons, JD Bertrand. Welcome back to the show, JD. It's great to see you. How are things going in Atlanta?
I appreciate it, and just living the dream, honestly. I mean, couldn't be more excited where I'm at and team I'm at, and just the way things are going so far.
On Thursday, you guys beat the Bucs, Thursday Night Football, but it was really notable because you got a chance to make your first start. I had you with 5 tackles. Just talk me through what goes through your head when you get a chance to finally make your first NFL career start. I imagine you said you're living the dream, but did it exceed the expectations? Just what was that day like? What was the whole experience like?
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty funny. My snap count went from 2 games ago, I played 1 snap, and then it went to 8 snaps, and then the Thursday night game, I ended up playing like 40 or so, and so it's been astronomical. But then going over the short week, like knowing that I was going to start, honestly, it was just super rushed. Like everything you do is rushed, and you're trying to watch film, and you're trying to take care of your body and trying to get ready for the next game. But then once actual game day came, I couldn't be more excited. I had both brothers in the stands, girlfriend's parents. Like I had a whole crew with me, so I couldn't have been more excited.
Gosh, that's awesome. I want to know, just obviously that game, dream come true, but just zoom out if you can to from getting drafted to now this whole process, the last few months, from moving up from campus to the professional life. Just what's the experience been like going to the NFL? What have you maybe learned that was unexpected? Just what's the whole process been like for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. The NFL is so different from college. Like college, I guess you're here with these guys for years and you're really close with them, and then you might make a friend in the NFL during camp, and then they're gone the next day. And so now it's just a different kind of lifestyle. And honestly, it still comes down to football, though. And so I've enjoyed every moment of it just because of the football side of it. And I really do enjoy what I do. And I couldn't be happier just to be able to continue to play and continue to live out this dream.
Something else I wanted to check in on with you is just the other Notre Dame guys throughout the NFL, because you're a younger guy, so there's people you've played with. Who have you been able to bump into so far? I think I also saw a stat at the beginning of the year that I think Notre Dame had the 3rd or 4th most pro players in the NFL, which just tells you how good the university's been at pumping guys out. So just who have you seen, who have you caught up with, and how's everyone doing right now?
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, almost every single week when we're game planning, they're like, hey, there's a Notre Dame guy here, there's a Notre Dame guy here. So preseason, I saw Kyle Hamilton, grew up with him in Georgia. Saw recently the Saints saw Isaiah Foskey. He was my roommate at Notre Dame. We traded jerseys. Blake Groupie saw Drew Tranquil at the Chiefs, and then Khalid Kareem's one of the guys here with us at the Falcons. So I live every day with him, and so it's been really cool to just be able to bump into those familiar faces, guys before my time. And I guess there's no one after my time yet, but maybe one day.
Hopefully soon you'll be welcoming some guys into the league. You mentioned Foskey and Groupie being in the same division. So what's the bragging rights situation like there? How much trash talk is there in the text threads? Or what happens maybe away from the field when you guys know you're going to be playing against each other multiple times throughout a season?
Yeah, I think it started, honestly, my draft day. Isaiah actually came to my draft, and we all had Falcons shirts on. He was the only one. He wore his Saints shirt. He was like, he couldn't wear the rival team shirt. And so it started there, but then beyond that, I mean, he's playing special teams. I'm playing special teams. So we didn't line up exactly across from each other, but we got a second game coming, so there might be an opportunity for that. But I mean, it is all fun and games until the game day hits, and we're honestly pretty focused on our job when it comes to game day, but there'll be some good laughs and giggles here and there after plays.
You know, you mentioned growing up in Georgia, and the Falcons to me seem like the kind of team that when it's going well, it's like one of the most electric places to be. The building looked incredible on Thursday. For you to be somebody that grew up nearby, now you're playing for the team, you're winning. Kirk Cousins is throwing for like 500 yards in the game. What's it like to be there right now when things are going the way they are?
Yeah, it's an exciting time, and I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's super similar to Notre Dame. I think just the way the program is run, the people they're trying to bring in, the just high quality individuals that are really good at football, but then have stuff to them outside of football, off the field. And so I feel like it's interesting because it does feel a lot like Notre Dame, and I think they really work on trying to build connections and build inter-squad kind of community. And so it's probably not the response that you're expecting from me, but it does feel like in Notre Dame in a sense.
You took me towards another question I had, and I know you haven't been gone for long, but you mentioned how different the pros are from the college lifestyle. As you've been going through this season, is there something about Notre Dame or being on the football team or even just being on campus where you think back, gosh, I wish right now I could have this Notre Dame moment back? Like, is there something about campus or the program that you miss not being with on a day in, day out basis now that you're in the NFL?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is after practice, like the locker room environment, after practice, after games, how everyone just kind of kicks it sometimes and just hangs out with each other, and you're hanging out with your best friends versus here it's very different. Like after practice, guys are going to go home to their families. Guys are going to go home and watch film. Like guys are going to go to this recovery person. And so the locker room kind of clears out really quickly versus at Notre Dame, there's guys playing basketball, little mini hoop basketball. There's guys playing ping pong. Like there's always just stuff going on in the locker room versus it kind of clears out a lot quicker. So I think that's the biggest thing that I miss.
Okay, you took me towards a question I have now about basketball. So we had Riley Leonard on the show, and
Gotcha.
He is allegedly the best current Notre Dame football player. He's the best basketball player on the football team. Okay,
I've heard that.
That's the one we're going. Okay, you've heard it. Wow, it's trickling out to you. Okay, so while you were here, I need to know who was the best basketball player on the football team.
Yeah, I think that's an easy question. I'd say Kyle Hamilton, hands down.
I'm not surprised. It seems like he's pretty much the best athlete anyone's ever encountered, right?
Exactly.
I want to know what your Saturdays are like. Have you been able to watch the team this year and keep an eye on how things are going? What's been your ability to watch? I know you play on Sundays. Have you been able to keep up with how the team's doing this year? Yeah,
I've been watching every game. It's nice because I get to the hotel a little bit early. Most of our games are 3:30 kickoffs, so I get to the hotel around 3, turn on the game, and then watch it. And my roommate, a lot of times I'm in text or on the phone with Isaiah, and then also our other roommate, Alex Ahrensberger, who's from Germany. And so he stays up and watches the games, and we'll sit there on FaceTime and just watch the game together and make jokes and kind of bring back the old times.
So what does it feel like now? Because you're not there. Do you feel nervous? Are you glad to not be in it because you got something to worry about the next day? Like, what does it feel like when J.D. Bertrand's now watching a Notre Dame game?
Yeah, I think the first game was just like really weird to me. When we played Texas A&M, like it was just weird. Like I didn't know anything that was going on. I just felt like a fan. Like, what's the scheme? What's going on? Like, how are they game prepping? Like, I just felt like a fan. I didn't have answers. Oh, like, what did Coach Freeman say to the guys after the game? Like that kind of stuff. Like, you don't have any more of the inside scoop. And so it's a little weird. You feel like a little bit on the outside, but it's also, I think it's refreshing to kind of see some younger guys be able to, guys that I was there with that are a lot younger, to be able to come in and fill those roles and make some plays and be able to see young guys make those plays.
Last one I have is about the game coming up after this following weekend. So Stanford's at home this week. The following week, Notre Dame's in Atlanta playing Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
You guys are home the next day. So we get a chance to see you at the Notre Dame game on that Saturday.
Yeah, I'll definitely be coming through.
Okay.
I have to. My whole family is going to be there. We got people from Ireland coming in for that weekend. They're going to go to the Georgia Tech game and then to our game the day after. So I'll definitely be there. Come and support the guys, support Coach Freeman.
That'll be awesome. Great to see you down there on the sidelines. JD, congrats on obviously the start the other day, the win, and how things are going. I know everybody here at Notre Dame is just excited to see how you've had so much success so quickly. I don't think anybody on campus, though, is surprised at how quickly it's happened for you. So keep up the great work, and we'll see you in Atlanta.
Appreciate it, Tony.
Is he on there? Hey! Turn your camera, dude. There you go. What's up, dude? Man, you're too big time for this. Now you're starting in the NFL. Let's go. You healthy? Did you do anything this weekend?
Went to an event Saturday night.
Event?
An event.
Yeah, yep.
I'll see you soon.
When? Oh, when we come down there.
Come down to the Georgia Tech game.
Where do you guys play that?
I don't know who we play, but we play the next day.
So are you going to go to the game or are you going to come to the hotel?
So Friday, my high school is actually honoring me.
Oh, my gosh. Are you serious?
Hey, I'm the first dude that's gone to the NFL from my high school.
Proud of you, dude. We miss you. I was telling them about we need somebody to put Kaiser in his place, you know?
I know.
You talk about old man. This dude.
I know.
He's an old man now.
I know. He's a 24-year-old player with some 17, 18-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly right. That's good, man. All right, man. I'll let you get to it. It's good to see you. I'll call you later.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
That wraps up another edition of Wake Up the Echoes presented by TireRack.com. Thanks to all our guests for coming along for the ride this week. It was great to talk some football. Okay, one thing to address. Got some feedback on Patty Gang. Not everybody was into it, so we're going to put it under review. I'm not sure what we're going to call all of you listeners out there. Maybe it'll be Patty Gang in the end. Maybe it won't be. If you have an idea, put it in the comments on the YouTube section. Please make sure to download, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Just smash the heck out of the like button too. We would love that support on YouTube as well. One more note here. Remember, we've got these awesome Notre Dame branded Yeti mugs that are being sold in the stadium. So if you are going to be at the game against Stanford this coming Saturday, first make sure to say hi to me when you're around campus. But if you get a chance, you want to get your hands on one of these, they are going fast. But Yeti is providing these. They're for sale inside the stadium. Make sure you get one if you're on campus this Saturday. Until next week, we'll talk to you later on Wake Up the Echoes.